Hello everybody, Glass here, and today I'm talking Kill Team, I'm talking Interrupts, Kill Team Interrupted. I'm just doing my vibe of Kill Teams, and I am both pimping it and simping it to you, as usual, honestly. So look, I want to talk about takebacks. I want to talk about locking in moves and sportsmanship in the heat of the moment. And then I had the idea of calling the video Kill Team Interrupted, because we're going to talk about interruptions. But that doesn't really tell you what this video is going to be. Great. Good YouTubering. Well done me. Look, the letter... Okay. I can tell what some of you have begun to think. The letter of the law about when you should allow an opponent a takeback or when you should allow yourself a takeback is actually very clear. There are no takebacks. Some rules, the reason we know that officially is that some rules have takebacks written into them. There's also, 3 levels of play to consider. There's, I guess, casual, practice and tournament, and maybe you want to be more strict in some of them and less strict in others. For example, oddly, out of those 3, I would say that practice is going to be more strict than a tournament, because in general, in a tournament, because it's collaborative, your opponent's probably going to let you have a takeback more than you would in practice, because in practice you want to be very strict on yourself to make sure you are playing it correctly. But in a tournament, it's a collaborative effort, so the opponent can give you a takeback. Casual, whatever, basically narrative, mate. Do whatever you want. So look, when playing Kill Team, you might find yourself or your opponent having taken an action and then deciding they didn't like that action and wanting to do something else. How does that work? What's the difference between you being strict and you being too strict and you being too loose? Because nobody likes it too loose. We all know that, obviously. Let's discuss, but of course, before we get into it, first I'd like to give a subscriber-only benefit, and that is a big double hello. Wow, honestly, just so wholesome. The wholesomeness truly knows no bounds, because we all need more greetings in our lives. If you'd like a double pleasantry given to you, then just subscribe and comment. And if you really like what I'm doing here, the pimping and the simping for the kill and the team, consider checking me out on Patreon, which is mainly just an overly complicated tip jar for my channel. If I'm honest, that is how most people treat it, I think. I try to give them more videos, but they don't watch them, so I don't know what's happening. Anyway, tip jar. But I do try and give you extra videos, like, for example, just yesterday. 2 days ago, 3 days ago? I don't know. I actually did an hour-long unboxing of Judgment Eternal Champions, which you might have seen being played by the Play on Tabletop guys, and I managed to pick up for dirt cheap in a Black Friday sale. £53. Insane value. Anyway, whatever. Also, digital goodies at certain tiers, like my objective markers and data cards. Anyway, on with the show. Okay, so there is kind of one concept we can lock in. That is, after a roll is made, you can't go back. You roll them bones, you can't make them scones, if you will. Because that's not yours to decide. That's a random number generator, and after the number is generated, because it has nothing to do with your skill, it's locked in. You only get to change something that you control. And also, that doesn't have to be, like, interacting in a way that will change the future of that action. It could be you've made a tough move on the left and then you're doing something over here, but because you've rolled a dice over here, even though it has no effect on what's about to happen over here, the game state, the board state is locked, right? Everybody's happy with that. Everyone understands that when you roll a dice, it's like hitting auto save on a computer game. Yeah, there you go. So, that's good. We know that. We're all cool with that. I don't think anyone's really going to push against it. However, this isn't touch chess. You can move a model and then go somewhere else. What does that mean? That sounds bizarre, right? Let me go to the stream all. Here we go. So what I mean by that is I'm here, okay? I've decided it's my activation. I say I'm going to go with this guy. I'm going to move him here. Right? Cool. That's a move. Then I say, actually, you know what? I've changed my mind because I see now you can shoot me. I'm going to go here. Now you can't shoot me. Okay? Essentially, nothing changed. The fact I put him there doesn't matter. I've chosen to move him to there instead. Cool. We're all kind of okay with that, right? However, and there must be a however, right? Otherwise, this is a really boring video. You can never put the model back in exactly the same place. So the move is locked in. I say this guy moves. As soon as I pick him up or slide him away from where he is, it's locked in. The move as an action is locked in. Okay? But where you move isn't. You can continue to place him anywhere. This isn't touch chess. You saying I move, there is nothing in the rules that says once you have put the model down, you cannot move again. Okay? So we're all cool with that. Again, that's pretty raw, written into the rules. The move is locked in, but where you move isn't. Kill Team is ultimately a game of millimeters when it comes to cover lines, and so you really have to ask your opponent if you can change the move, and when you place it back. Does that make sense? I hope. Check they're okay with it as it is now. So, for example, I say, I want to move there. Oh, okay, no, I'm not going to move there, I'm going to move there. Cool. Actually, you know what? I've decided I don't want to move him, because there's not good for me too. I place him back, I'm going to move another model. When you say I place him back, I'm not going to move him, that's where you ask your opponent, can I take back the move and do something else? Because where I've put him now is not where he was when I picked him up. He has moved position. Okay, it might only be millimeters, but you know what? If this Crook Pistolier was here, right? Oh, can't quite shoot him. But then, oh, he's there. Totally free line of sight. So very easy to unconsciously or just purely by mistake, give yourself a little bit extra cover from a board state that might not be active now, but after the next action is active, right? So you do have to ask your opponent, can I take that move back? And furthermore to that, ask if they're okay with it. Ask if they're okay with where you've placed it back. Okay, so I move. Oh, actually, I'm not going to move. Place it back. Are you okay with that? They check. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. This will only take half a second, right? This isn't like a big deal. I'm just trying to over-explain it. To be clear, though, as the opponent in this situation, yes, you should allow this take back. Don't let hate rule your heart. However, here's where the big issue comes. What am I? The big issue? Fucking Jesus. Right, there are a few abilities that are interrupts, like Corsairs have Deadly Ambush, Wormblades have Quicksilver Strike, and interestingly, Farstalkers, hey, nobody's ever played those, yeah, they have a Pistolier interrupt, which is very interesting. Or even just the guard action. These are all versions of interrupts. Now, perhaps if we can figure out what point the interrupt gets locked in, then we also have the answer to when takebacks should be allowed. For me, personally, I like to play it very clearly. Ignoring interrupts for a moment, I'll let them finish their move. Let's do it. Let's do it. He's there. Okay? Nice. I'll let them finish their move. Boom. For some reason, the sniper that has silence is actually on an engage. Just pretend. Okay? Go with me. And then they've moved. They pass the turn to me. Great. Assuming all they did was move, so no dice were rolled from an attack or anything, if I can shoot them without moving, I will declare the shot, but allow them to move their model back if they want. I will give them this chance multiple times in the game because it's whatever, right? Like, I want to win based on their intentional mistakes, not silly movement abstractions. It also tells me a lot about what type of game we're going to be playing. If they take it back every single time, then I know it's a loose, casual game. If they give me the shot and they stay there, then I know that it's, they're looking for more of a practice game than a casual game, right? We're doing something tight, as we all like it. And I will play with appropriate caution. Although, of course, tryhards in both camps will swing both ways, right? Giving themselves the take back, but not allowing me any. In which case, I will simply refuse to play them again. I don't need that vibe in my life, to be honest. Now look, I make plenty of mistakes, and I assume that my opponent will too. So I extend them the kindness that I hope they will show me. Treat others as you wish to be treated, and all that jazz. So let's talk interrupts, because this is where it's written into the rules that you get to disrupt the usual sequence of events. The entire point of these abilities is to catch your opponent off guard. Or is it? No, obviously. I assume that's obvious just by the fact I said it. Otherwise, what's the point of this video? Anyway, now the truth is I've literally never even played Kill Team, let alone in a tournament environment. So although I have plenty of ideas on how I think interrupt should be played, it would really be a good idea for me to bring in someone that actually plays the game. And at this point in the script, I was supposed to have Ryan from Turning Point Tactics like step in. So it was going to be like a joke, because he would have been off screen for like 10 minutes as I explained the video, and then he was just going to stand in shot and like finish this, but we didn't have time, so this is honestly just a really lonely and solitary life that I've chosen to live. So instead of introducing a guest, I'm just going to give you the answer, and there you go. Woo, fun. So like back to what I said at the start, this is not touch chess, right? Kill Team, like all war games, is a collaborative effort. Your interrupt abilities are not interrupting the other player. They are interrupting the order of activations. Your opponent has to make the conscious decision to let you use your interrupt. Interrupts are not a gotcha moment. Interrupts are a zoning tool. You use them to give yourself a zone on the board that is safe and that your opponent has to weigh up the pros and cons of triggering the ability. There you go, very simple. Let's have a few examples. Exactly as I was doing here, my Kroot sharpshooter there, he's on guard, right? My guy here, he's safe, cool. I move there, flips to me, he's got 3 APL, right? So he moves, he's intending to shoot, but I've got guard. So I can say to him, hey, I interrupt before you shoot me, I'm going to guard you, right? It throws back to him. He now gets to do this, which is bullshit and why I hate Into the Dark. He says, oh, sorry, I will move there instead. Boom. Non-reciprocal, because he's over 2 inches from that. He's now obscured to me, but he can hit me. Cool? Fine. He gets to do that. He had the movement to be able to do it. Not a big deal. Because that is the better move in every possible circumstance. And your opponent will always take that when you try to interrupt it. However, maybe that isn't available to him. There's another model there. He can't move back, but he really wants that shot. So he's going to say, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, take your shot. Take your guard action. That's okay. He'll tank the shots, and then he'll get to continue, assuming he doesn't die. Nice. Right. Let's say we've then got the Kroot Pistolet. Okay. Now, this is an interesting one. So, the way his ability works, pretty simple. Your opponent has to be within range of you, so 6 inch because it's a pistol, and you move within 6, so you set up your little thing, blam, lovely. I move, I go round a corner, whatever. Hello, I'm going to shoot you. You say, okay, cool, I'm going to interrupt your shot, and I get to shoot before you shoot. To which they say, oh, I'm going to shoot you now. And you just have to take it, because that's how interrupts work. They're not really interrupting the player. The player gets to take it back. Nothing's been rolled. There's no touch chess. You don't really lock the action in until something else on the board happens that makes the board state irretrievable, okay? That's how that goes. You just take it. And so you have to think, well, how else can I set that up? Okay, I've got to be around the corner. I've got to make sure that, if they want to shoot me, they have to be within 6. But they still get to make the choice. They still get to say, you know what? I'm not going to take your shot first. So I move, I don't shoot you. They always get to take that back until dice are rolled. So if they're being too quick and they say, right, I move and I shoot, and they immediately roll, that's locked in. You can't take that back. Or it becomes your choice. If they say, oh no, sorry, I take that back. You get to say, well, no, you've rolled. So, order of events, I would have rolled first. Those dice are locked in, whatever you rolled. Move those out of the dice tray. I'm going to do my attack first because that's the interrupt. And then if you live, that's your dice roll. And you get to play that. That's totally fine. Like, everyone would be happy with that. Likewise, you have essentially the exact same with the Locust. You place him just round a corner so that he can't be shot. This guy wants to get stuck in. Okay, well, we know that the Locust has a 3-inch charge threat with his Quicksilver ambush. Cool. I want to run past him. Okay, you're not thinking about it, right? So you go, okay, I'm going to move around here to this corner. Boom. Oh, hold on. You made a normal move within 3 inches. I get to interrupt your move. Go back. Oh, I didn't realise. Sorry. Okay, my guy's going to open the door and go through this way instead. You are interrupting the normal sequence of events of the mechanics of the game. You are not interrupting the player. There you go. And honestly, every TO will side with me on that one. No one is going to force an interrupt unless dice are rolled. At that point, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that all TOs would side with me there. But yeah, again, unless you're being very strict in a practice game, in which case, yeah, you just say, I moved. Because that's how you learn. Because then you know, right, when I face the Locust, 3-inch bubble, don't go anywhere near it. Cool. Zoning tool, not an actual gotcha. Anyway, like, sorry for that kind of super cold take, because it's incredibly obvious and, like, really the only true answer at the end there. You know me, you know I'd like to say something to drive those comments and push that engagement to the max. But there you have it. Wargaming is always a collaborative event. Interrupts are not interrupting the players, just the normal flow of the game. Boom. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow. Super duper cool. Kill Team's a pretty good game. Certainly I'm excited for Season 3 coming up. Woof. Don't like that terrain visually, but let's see how it goes, right? Hyped for more Kill Team. If you can't tell, I'm vibing on a few Kroot. You know, nobody's really proved their mettle. That excites me. So maybe I'll be playing some of them. I do intend to go to the Warhammer World event in January. So if you're there, come up, say hi. I will be tilted because I will lose every single game. So be aware for me, you know, be ready for me to go, piss off. Okay, that's going to be me. That's going to be every game. That's me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Stay humble and hashtag polite gang rise up and check out my Patreon.